most people, it's not possible to be free. They're so attached and they're so used to these corridors that they want to stay there because it's comfortable, even though it's discomforting, it's comfortable. Even though it's painful, it's comfortable. So we have to learn to be able to exit that corridor and into a much wider one, and a wider one, until there is no walls. And there we are. And so when you leave your familiar, like it's like the abused wife or even the abused husband, right? That happens a lot more than we realise, and it's starting to get a bit more airplay these days. Right, it goes the other direction too. And you are used to it, so they can't leave their partner because they're used to it. It's familiar now. They're attached to it, even though it's tragic and traumatic and obviously from the outside a bad situation that they need to get out of. They can't because it's just familiar, and so we get trapped in our corridors. So it was really, really wise of you to see that it was just self-sabotage and going back to old ways because something in your system doesn't like it. It's afraid of it, and what's afraid of it is not your friend. It's something that also needs to clear out. Makes sense? So it's just self-sabotage, yeah. Spending time in Satsang is your whole ecosystem, your whole energetic structure in your mind, and your body getting used to a whole different energy field until it becomes normalized. So parts of you don't want to run off and hurt yourself. And people disappear for all the noblest of reasons, but usually, really, it's just that they get to a point and something in them is stronger than their desire to be free. Your desire for freedom has to be at the highest level of all your desires. And all your other desires just need to take they have to be put in the trunk or completely let go of, if possible. And truth is the only desire worth having. Because if you're not in truth, what are you? What are you in? Tell me. Oh, it's okay because everyone else is doing it? Is that a suitable answer? Everybody else isn't in truth or dancing in all sorts of ideologies and faiths and belief systems, and therefore that's okay. Or is truth or not truth? It's one or the other. And which one do you want? If you're not in truth, who are you? What are you doing? What's your life? It's somebody else's dance. You're mimicking other people's ideas in the world. It's not freedom. It's imitation. For most people, it's not possible to be free. They're so attached and they're so used to these corridors that they want to stay there because it's comfortable, even though it's discomforting, it's comfortable. Even though it's painful, it's comfortable. So we have to learn to be able to exit that corridor and into a much wider one, and a wider one until there is no walls. And there we are. And that happens now. That's just a now experience. By staying here present, not following the mind into its traps. The corridors get wider and wider until there are none. And you may just laugh at the ridiculousness of the prison, the self-imposed prison that we were in, believing it was valuable because we were taught it was valuable by people that weren't conscious or happy. So it's up to us. It's a one-player game. You don't walk in holding hands with anybody. It's a one-player game. As far as your inner freedom. So when do you let go of others' hands and just, choose your freedom? It's a when question and an if question. So the more you come here, the more you get used to this, your energy field, and you may think, oh, he means mind, thoughts. No, your body, your energy body, or your 5 bodies are all soaking in the truth, the energetic truth. And the denser parts are falling away. And it's been millions of years we've been put together. It takes a little bit of time. Or it takes a bunch of nows that we call time, so let's just say time. And we never know when the pendulum swings the other way, and it doesn't have to be in the future. It's a now experience too, so we stay as present as possible, as here as now as possible. As the disturbances arise, we notice them, see if we can root out any depth in them, and just keep staying here now. We never know when we see the truth. We don't project. It's a long way off. We don't project anything. The mind will have you projecting it's out into the future continuously, which is another trap. More trickery. And there's more than enough evidence of that not being true. There's even Buddhist sects and all sorts of traditions that think you have to be something like an angel before you can wake up. That's been proven wrong too. The mess can be cleaned up afterwards. A lot teach you need to know all of the sutras, all of the mantras, all of the masters, all of the... Not true either. Actually, usually a hindrance. The more you know, the more the mind pretends it knows when it can't find what's actually there. The mind can simulate it and make a simulation of it, which is the most common awakening I see. Somebody's studied the work for a long time and their mind creates a simulation. It believes itself. And they're out there teaching. Or sometimes just showing off. So it can be an advantage not to read too much. Most people here, we're not big studiers of these traditions as far as I show a little bit. But most people here were just plodding along. What an advantage. Maybe that's why we're doing so well. We didn't have to clean up years of debris. But I read for decades until I realised, I need to put all that down now. But it helped me get to where I was, but I didn't have a teacher till the very end. Or a living teacher, I should say. I had a teacher. I realised in hindsight I had somebody, they had my back the whole time, but they'd passed already physically. So yeah, watch out for self-sabotage, long story short.
Please like or subscribe if you found value. Meet Rohan via rohan.life.